Trust in all that is. October 6, 2014. Honored reader. Besides our devotion to God, this time also requires foremost a profound understanding of the events, which pertain to the ascension of this world into our transfiguration. This understanding is regularly deepened in many messages, which are given to me. And while we are reliably provided with knowledge and energy from the high realms of creation, it sometimes happens that we despond, we give up courage, that we can no longer make sense of all the doings, despite our position in all that is and our assignments on earth. Our strength wanes, our zest fizzles out, and our belief in the fortune of God's closeness will again be put to the test. Whoever masters a hurdle, whoever quickly regains strength and glory, is truly a master of this time. Therefore I have decided to bring to mind to all our subscribers and to the readers of the blog, in my view, top actual chapter from the book, The Language of the Soul, 13 Keys for Life, as was already done during the last light reading in Vienna on September 25, 2014. The composure of a true light warrior is wonderfully described here, and we perfectly well need this composure to a sufficient degree in these days of mankind. What is needed, is to devote our whole life to God. To fully offer every event, good or bad, to God, because only God knows all and knows even the most convoluted paths of a world and of all human beings, who serve mankind. Enjoy this story, which symbolizes the trust in all that is, and whereby this can again be anchored in you. In love. Jan J. Kozel. P.S. This book has already been translated into English and will soon be published in the Lichtwelt portal. Trust in all that is. Where the misery is little, the whining is huge. Where the suffering is huge, the quarrel is little. Trust in life means, neither to quarrel nor to bewail, recognize all, as what it is. There too the following passed on story from the time of Lao Tzu in China. There was an old man in a village, very poor, but even kings were jealous of him because he had a beautiful white horse. Such a horse had never been seen before, the beauty, the very grandeur, the strength. Kings asked for the horse and they offered fabulous prices, but the old man would say, "This horse is not a horse to me, he is a person, and how can you sell a person? He is a friend, he is not a possession. How can you sell a friend? No, it is not possible." The man was poor, there was every temptation, but he never sold the horse. One morning, he suddenly found that the horse was not in the stable. The whole village gathered and they said, "You foolish old man. We knew it beforehand, that someday the horse would be stolen. And you are so poor, how can you protect such a precious thing? It would have been better to sell it. You could have fetched any price you asked, any fancy price was possible. Now the horse is gone. It is a curse, a misfortune." The old man said, "Don't go too far, simply say that the horse is not in the stable. This is the fact. Everything else is a judgment. Whether it is a misfortune or not, how do you know? How do you judge?" The people said, "Don't try to befool us. We may not be great philosophers, but no philosophy is needed. It is a simple fact that a treasure has been lost, and it is a misfortune." The old man said, "I will stick to the fact that the stable is empty and the horse is gone. Anything else I don't know, whether it is a misfortune or a blessing, because this is just a fragment. Who knows what is going to follow it?" People laughed. They thought the old man had gone mad. They always knew it, that he was a little crazy. Otherwise he would have sold this horse and lived in riches. But he was living like a woodcutter, and he was very old and still cutting wood and bringing the wood from the forest and selling it. He was living hand to mouth, in misery and poverty. Now it was completely certain that this man was crazy. After 15 days, suddenly one night, the horse returned. He had not been stolen, he had escaped to the wilderness. And not only did he come back, he brought a dozen wild horses with him. Again the people gathered and they said, "Old man, you were right and we were wrong. It was not a misfortune, it proved to be a blessing. We are sorry that we insisted." The old man said, "Again you are going too far. Just say that the horse is back, and say that 12 horses have come with the horse, but don't judge. Who knows whether it is a blessing or not? It is only a fragment. Unless you know the whole story, how can you judge? You read one page of a book, how can you judge the whole book? You read a sentence in a page, how can you judge the whole page? You read a single word in a sentence, how can you judge the whole sentence? And even a single word is not in the hand. Life is so vast, a fragment of a word and you have judged the whole. Don't say that this is a blessing, nobody knows. And I am happy in my no judgment. Don't disturb me." This time the people could not say much. Maybe the old man was again right. So they kept silent, but inside they knew well that he was wrong. 12 beautiful horses had come with the horse. A little training and they could all be sold and they would fetch much money. The old man had a young son, only one son. The young son started to train the wild horses. Just a week later he fell from a wild horse and his legs were broken. The people gathered again, and people are people everywhere, like you everywhere. Again they judged. Judgment comes so soon. They said, "You were right, again you proved right. It was not a blessing, it was again a misfortune. Your only son has lost his legs, and in your old age he was your only support. Now you are poorer than ever." The old man said, "You are obsessed with judgment. Don't go that far. Say only that my son has broken his legs. Who knows whether this is a misfortune or a blessing? Nobody knows. Again a fragment, and more is never given to you. Life comes in fragments, and judgment is about the total." It happened that after a few weeks the country went to war with the neighboring country, and the young men of the town were forcibly taken for the military. Only the old man's son was left because he was crippled. The people gathered, crying and weeping, because from every house young people were forcibly taken away. And there was no possibility of their coming back, because the country that had attacked was a big country and the fight was a losing fight. They were not going to come back. The whole town was crying and weeping, and they came to the old man and they said, "You were right, old man. God knows, you were right. This proved a blessing. Maybe your son is crippled, but still he is with you. Our sons are gone forever. At least he is alive and with you, and by, he will start walking. Maybe a little limp will be left, but he will be okay." The old man again said, "It is impossible to talk to you people, you go on and on and on, you go on judging. Nobody knows. Only say this, that your sons have been forced to enter into the military, into the army, and my son has not been forced. But nobody knows whether it is a blessing or a misfortune. Nobody will ever be able to know it. Only God knows. Everything is an event on the path to perfection, which I walk on now, rain, sun, hail, lightning, thunder, alternate, but my inner frame of mind remains untouched by it. Because I trust in what it is now. Everything serves me and everything benefits my growth. Therein I trust and so I remain in peace. You slide into frustration and hopelessness way too fast. You are quick in losing courage and feeling robbed of your strength. Trust in what is. Trust that life takes care of you. Trust in your own strength. The key to a fulfilled life is the trust in life. Events are markers along the path, which help you to orient yourself, but they do not constitute firmly anchored, inevitable or even unchangeable facts. In the course of time, today it is this, tomorrow it is that. Do not hang on to these. Gain some distance and contemplate, because everything will come to you, and accept what is given to you. Trust. Do not evaluate. Do not let yourself be tempted to judgment. What exists now has meaning, determination, and helps you to grow. The sorrow of today is the joy of the new morning. The transformation of your being creates the space for this change. Trust in what is. The second key for the understanding of your life has been given. from all that is. www.lichtweltverlag.blogspot.com